Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's 2 o'clock and it's time for Dear Smiley. So welcome today if you are able to join us live, and if you're listening back on the recorded version, it's great to have you here. Thank you for taking the time to catch up. So I have got another letter here from my mum. I was really excited with the response that I got to Dear Smiley. So I had 3 mums writing to me this week and asking for help. So I just want you to know that I'm here, and it can be done anonymously, so you don't have to give any names, and I will honour that when I read out my letter. So how's your week going? It's hump day, it's Wednesday. I hope you're having a good week. I am Zen Smiley today because I had the best day ever at the Nirvana Spa in Reading. I don't know if you've been there. I've never been there before. I didn't realise how much I needed to go until I went to bed last night and thought, wow, I actually feel relaxed in my body and I can go to sleep. Amazing. So yeah, the thing that reminded me of today's live stream when I was there yesterday was they had these pools, and at the end of the pool they had a machine that like pushed out water, and you could speed the machine up or you could slow it down. So you had to get into the current of the water and fight against it. And I thought, wow, it's like the current of life, isn't it? And you're fighting against it. And if you don't have the tools to make your way through the water, or to strengthen yourself to be able to withstand the pressure of the water, then life becomes a struggle. And sometimes we're so busy in the current doing this that we don't even realise that we're struggling. It becomes normal for us to be stressed. And that's a really dangerous place to be. And that's a really nice seamless link into what I want to talk to you about today. So I've got my letter here. I'm just going to have a sip of my tea and see if anyone else wants to come and join us. Facebook are telling me that building an audience. So we'll just see if anyone else comes. But these slots are for you, and they're for you to ask me anything you want. I am very privileged. I have a job where I can reach children on a level that maybe parents and other people in that child's life don't get to. So I have real insights and into meeting the child in the space where they are, which I want to share with you all, because I think if you knew those insights and you could see what I could see, you'd go, oh yeah, right, it's that, and it would really help you. So that's kind of what I hope to do in these slots. So let's get cracking. So this one says, oh, this poor mum. Dear Smiley, I've just come downstairs after another tricky bedtime. My youngest is refusing to go to sleep without me in the room. I feel exhausted and I can't keep going on like this. I need my energy for my work, which makes me feel guilty. I found it really hard to write to you because somehow I feel like I should be able to give my children what they need. More and more recently, my eldest son, who is 11, has started digging his heels in about going to school. And then he told me he didn't want to go to judo this week because it's boring. So he's a smart boy, but he struggles over homework, which often results in him getting angry with me and then me getting angry with him. I consider us to be a normal family who are living life to the full. My husband and I work really hard, and we are lucky to be giving our 4 children more than we had growing up. They have such a fun life, and we have beautiful holidays and lots of sports and activities. I'm concerned by my youngest's clinginess and frustrated with my eldest's stubbornness. He has always been very sensitive, but he meets me head on with his refusal to cooperate. Is there anything I can do or say to get my children back on track? Love, a confused mum. Oh, confused mum, I feel your pain. I feel like for you things feel like they're out of control, and I just want to state the bleeding obvious that actually you can't do anything to get your children back on track, because that's their job and they need to be in their struggle to find their way. But there are obviously some things that you can do to create an environment that helps them to do that. But it is better if they can do it for themselves. I promise you. I promise you it is. So I'm going to go through this letter like I did last time, stage by stage, and hopefully be able to offer some some insights into that. I've got my notes here. So I've just come downstairs after another tricky bedtime, and my youngest is refusing to go to sleep without me in the bedroom. Okay, so clinginess and not wanting to go to sleep tell me that bedtime is the last call for connection. It's the last time for them to be with you and feel your love before they spend 12 hours. And they're in a dark room and they're on their own and you're not there. And so if all is not great in their world and they are wanting you to be there, that tells me that they're holding on to emotions, they've got a full emotional backpack and they need you. So that's a sign that something else is going on with that child. And I'm not saying that to make you feel bad, because obviously you're telling me that you already feel really guilty because you're working and you're busy and you're stressed by the sound of it. But can I just say that if you are stressed and that's how you're feeling and that's the energy that your family is sitting in, because mums tend to hold families together, or sometimes dads, but predominantly mums. If the energy your family is sitting in is stress because that's how you feel inside, your children are going to be that too. They don't listen to you, they just watch how you're coping with stuff, what your coping mechanisms are, and then they copy you. I have to say that being someone who wasn't very emotionally intelligent and has done a lot of work on making themselves emotionally intelligent, that actually when you are more emotionally intelligent and you're more in tune with yourself and you understand that self-care is part of that, then you will be more resilient to these types of situations and you will be able to cope with stress better. So that's really important for this mum to know, that the guilt, drop the guilt. I'm going to say that to every mum, and every mum is going to tell me that they have guilt. And that's part of being a mum. But you can't be all things to your child. And first and foremost, it's like the oxygen mask on the aeroplane. You need to take care of yourself first. That's just so important. Then she goes on to say her eldest son, he's 11, he's refusing to go to school. Defiance and this kind of like refusal, there feels like a power struggle there. He's saying, you can't make me do. That's telling me that he doesn't feel very in control. And yet you're feeling out of control. So just stay with that thought. And then he's now refusing to go to judo because it's boring. Okay, lots of children will say things are boring and they won't want to engage in them if there's something else going on for them. That's an excuse. That's like us saying, oh, I'm too busy to do that this week, or I can't afford that this month. If it was a priority, if you really wanted to do it, you wouldn't be too busy and you would somehow manage to afford it. So in your child's mind, that's not a priority, and there could be another reason for that. So resistance to do things, a resistance is normally a fear of something. Resistance is fear. When we find ourselves making excuses and we're resisting, we're normally afraid of something. And lots of us are afraid of change, and lots of children are afraid of transition. And that doesn't have to be transition from school to home, from home to homework, from this club to that club. That can be about from transition from cleaning your teeth to eating your breakfast. When there's lots of transitions in a routine, a child who struggles with that needs lots of warning, lots of reassurance, lots of help or prompts to get them from one thing to another. So that might be helpful, and we'll talk a bit more about that in a minute. And then she says, I consider us to be a normal family, whatever normal is. Like, how are you judging yourself? What are you assessing normal on? Normal to you sounds like living life to the full, having great holidays, working hard, and having lots of things to do. We live in this crazy, busy world where we're all caught up in doing things. And when I was at the spa yesterday, I felt really naked without my mobile phone, can I say. I wasn't naked at the spa, by the way. I was wearing a swimming costume and a robe. But I felt like I was lost without my phone. And that's a sign that I'm not able to connect with myself because I'm connected somewhere else. And my phone is blocking me. So if you're on your phone, you're blocking yourself from connecting with the people you love and living in the real world. Children use screens to check out from reality when they're overloaded. That becomes a habit. And they'll tell you they need to watch a film or they need to be on the iPad to relax. The screens light up the part of your brain that doesn't relax it, so that's not relaxing, and there are other ways to relax. There are other healthier ways to relax. You need boundaries around screens. Sorry, I've totally gone off on a tangent, but that's just made me think of that. So this normal life that you're creating, we've given our children more than we had growing up. Have you asked your children what they want? your children are telling me that they don't like this life you're creating for them, this rushing from one thing to another, this busyness. They're not liking it. They're saying, Mummy, be here. And they're saying, Mummy, don't send me to school and don't send me to clubs. Introverted children need a lot of time on their own to recharge. So if you've got an introverted child, they're better in one-to-one friendships. They don't like crowds and chaos and out of controlness. They need a lot of time to be at home, to regroup and be with themselves. So that's really important if your son is introverted. I'm concerned by my youngest clinginess and frustrated with my eldest stubbornness. Again, that's something you're not in control of. And he's always been very sensitive, so he might be sensitive, what I call a sensitive strong-willed child, because his refusal and the power struggle, it's about not getting locked into power struggles. And is there anything I can say or do? There's lots of things that you can do. There's lots of things that you can be and role model. And there are a few things that you can say. But you're probably not getting time to say very much, because I'm sensing there's this busyness and there's not this connection and togetherness, which would mean that if you were together more, you'd be more tuned into what's going on. And I'm not saying that to guilt you for going to work, because obviously going to work is part of being a mummy for you, and that makes you a happy mummy. But it is about maybe shifting your beliefs and your thoughts around what is a normal family life, and maybe asking your children, do you want to be doing all these things? What would you like to be doing? Sounds very obvious, but I think a lot of the time children are told what to do. They're following someone else's timetable and schedule, which feels out of control to them. Give them a bit of control back. Involve them in the plans that you make as a family. I don't know if you have family meetings, regular family meetings, where you can actually ask your children, what have you really enjoyed this month? What do you want to do more of next month? What did you not like this month? And allow them to have opinions and input into that. That gives them some control back. So that's helpful. The thing is with this stuff is it creeps up on you, and you get caught in this really busy whirlwind, and it creeps up on you, and then you're just like, oh my God, what is going on? Why are the kids not doing this? Why is this not happening? And I really, yesterday when I went to the spa and I became Zen Smiley, I really realised that actually I was caught up in that whirlwind of taking things off my to-do list and going, yeah, I'm so busy and I'm getting this done and this is going well. But I'm not taking care of myself, and I'm not built as a human being to be that busy and disconnect from myself. I'm built to be here, to feel joy and to feel my feelings and to appreciate and be in the moment with what's going on. So that's really important. I've obviously today I want to direct you to a blog post that I've written. It's 10 obvious signs of a stressed child that parents ignore, and so I've mentioned some of them in to help this mum who's written to me, but if you go to the blog post you'll find other ones. So you need to go to the website www.smileyforlife.com/stress signs. That will help you. Also, the other thing that will help you is if you can create some independence in your child. So lots of mums worry that if their children don't need them, it's quite normal that, oh, what does that mean if I don't have a purpose? And if we can look at the things that we're doing for our children, if you write a list and you look at them and you think, I don't really need to be doing that, or could they be doing that for themselves, or could I delegate that to someone else? Not everything has to go through you. You don't have to be doing everything for them. So obviously I have things that will help you with that. I have my calendar. Can you see my calendar in the background? So Super Boosting Smiley Thought Calendar comes with stickers. Oh, we'll just put my teeth back in. That's hard to say, isn't it? Can you see that says, it's got the Life is Magical and Fun Smiley Thought card, and it says 3 ways to bring more fun into our life. So March is going to be all about balance for the children that have got the calendars, finding balance in their life between work or school and play. And we need to have that balance, and we live in a world where everything is whizzed up like a blender because of a virtual world that we live in, and everything is much fast paced and more accessible than it was before. But finding that balance is really hard, and I think it starts with us as adults, role modelling that to the kids and saying, you know, slow. I say to myself sometimes, I stop and I say, slow down. I had a little boy in coaching on Friday actually, and he's always in a rush. He's very conscientious, he wants to get things done, he's always in a rush to get things done. So I started messing about with him and I was going, slow down. I was doing everything in slow motion. He thought it was hilarious, but actually it really helped us to focus on what we needed to focus to get through the session, and it stopped him from rushing. So you just need to take a breath and be in the moment. So these calendars are great. By the way, they're in the sale. They're $12.99 with postage and packaging. They were $34.99 when they came with Smiley TV at the end of last year. But I've now decided that some of you are asking for these calendars. You want to try the calendars out home with your kids without having the Smiley TV that goes with it. The Smiley TV is the online coaching program that supports the calendars. It's all done creatively. I'm not going to talk about that today, but you can go and check it out on my website. It's /Smiley TV. So the calendars, you can get those at /Smiley Calendar 2017. I'll put all these links in below for you. $12.99 plus postage and packaging. They're a posh wall calendar, limited edition. I've only got 30 of them left. They come with these stickers. You can get a printable version as well, by the way. But they come with these smiley boosting stickers, which are to help your children create healthy habits and do things independently without you. So when we're creating new habits, we need reminders, which is the calendar. It's a visual reminder. We need repetition, and then we need rewards. Rewards don't have to be sugary treats and massive, big, expensive things. Rewards can just be, when I do these, I feel really good inside. That's my new thing for setting boundaries. If it feels good, do it. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. And if it doesn't feel good and you're still doing it, ask yourself, why am I still doing that? Great way to set boundaries. So you've got all your stickers here. Your stickers here are things like relaxation, drinking more water, going outside, having a screen-free day. You cut them out. You put them in a little tin like this. I've actually covered mine in sticky back plastic. It's like being on Blue Peter. You put a bit of blue tack on the back. This one says be kind. And you plot it on the calendar. So every month you have 3 things to think about for the month. So this month is all about, sorry, I just dropped that on the floor. It's all about fun and balance. It's all about work-life balance. I think it will really help families, not just the kids, the mums as well, stay focused on what is important, because we kind of get our priorities a bit twisted when we start thinking that there's a poem, isn't there? Dust if you must. Dust if you must. I'll try and dig it out for you. But it's just basically saying the dust is going to be there forever. Do you ever dust and then look and then think, where did that dust come from? Talking to Monica from Friends here. I'm obsessed with cleanliness. Some days you just have to go, do you know what? Is that really important? Is that really important? The other thing that I'm hearing this mum say, the mum that's written to me, the confused mum, is, I'm not really knowing what's going on for my children, but I feel like I'm out of control with them. Okay, you don't need to climb inside their heads, but a good way to get them to talk are the cards. The cards are really good for connection at night time. You just have to talk about what you see in a card and ask the right questions, and then stay silent and just watch what comes out of the silence. Your children will share what they need to share. Because often in coaching, mums want to bring their children all prepared for the session, and they come with like lists and they say, oh, remember to tell Smiley this and remember to tell Smiley that, and that puts pressure on the session to be about what needs fixing in the parent's mind. But actually the child just needs to come to the session, get my Sharpies out, draw, play with my cards and talk to me, and from that I get real insights into what's going on for the child. So playing with your children and being with them in the space where they are, even if it's something you really don't like Lego or whatever it is they do, developing characters and doing role plays is a really good way to get an insight into their world. And so you don't need to be in control of their behaviour, you just need to understand and be with them and connect with them where they are. And actually when the children feel better, the behaviour just writes itself. What was a power struggle, or what was a refusal to do something, or what was a clinginess to be with you, then becomes about, I feel better, mummy's here with me, I feel okay. And they can run off and do their thing. So I hope that's helpful. I'm just going to check my list and make sure I've told you everything I wanted to tell you. I think dealing with the current of life, as I was talking about, relating it back to my spa experience yesterday, dealing with the current of life is not about just constantly being in the current and pummeling yourself against it. It's about having the tools to go, here comes the current again, how are we going to ride this wave? How are we going to get through it? And you can't control your children when they're in that wave. You're dragging them into your whirlpool of water and busy life. And you don't need to do that. You don't even need to be in the current. You can find a way to be without making it super busy. And if you are super busy, I'd really like you to honestly sit down and say to yourself, what am I avoiding by being busy? Because it's addictive, and I wrote a blog post about that, and I'll put that in the link below, about how being busy is addictive. I'm the worst person for that, so I can hold my hands up and say, I will keep busy to avoid doing stuff. Every time. Every time. And then I have to go to a spa like yesterday and go, okay, what's going on here? Why are you not at peace with yourself? Why are you not able to be still? Because you know we're here a long time and we're here to feel good. We're not here to be dusting and busying ourselves up our own bottoms. We really aren't. It's not really a fun life, is it? And life isn't going to slow down, but you need to think about whether you are going to slow down. So that's my dear Smiley to that confused mum, and I'm sending her lots of love because I understand how we do get swept up in that stuff. And no one's to blame, and it just needs a deep breath and a stepping back and a thinking, okay, what can I do to change the environment that we're living in? It's about changing the environment. These cards are really good for focusing on what's important, and these calendars are really good for getting your children to do things for themselves. And you won't lose their love if they don't need you or you're not doing things for them. In fact, you'll have a completely different relationship with them, one which you will find is much more enjoyable. So I hope that helps you, and I'm going to pop all the links in below for the calendar, for the blog post that I want you to read. The blog post tells you about the 10 signs that parents miss which indicate that your kids are stressed. So I'd really like you to have a look at that. And if you have something you'd like to ask me, you can write into me, lisa@smileyforlife.com. It will be anonymous, as I've said, and if you come back here at 2 o'clock next Wednesday, I might be answering your question. So enjoy the rest of your week, and I hope to see you then. Bye!